ANC Secretary-General Fikile Mbalula says no agreements have been reached between the ANC and the DA on the budget. Now, this comes as tensions between the two largest parties in the GNU flared last month following the 0.5 percentage point VAT increase proposal tabled by Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana. That was during his 2025-2026 budget speech. Now, helping us to unpack this is political analyst Khanyi Magubane. She joins us now via video link. Khanyi, very good afternoon to you, and thank you so much, of course, for your time. So, as a long-standing deadlock between the GNU partners continues, we do understand that ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa and DA leader John Steenhuisen are meeting this afternoon, to continue these talks to, for one, pass or even rescue the budget ahead of tomorrow and as the Joint Finance Committee convenes in Parliament. What can you read into just how both the ANC and the DA have been engaging so far?
Thank you very much, Unati. Well, I think when it comes to issues of the budget, I am going to get a little technical, but I think as an opening shot, I'd just like to say that it's important that these two leaders of these parties have shown leadership in this regard, because they are meeting to rescue talks that have collapsed. And we can allude to the statements made by the Secretary-General Fikile Mbalula just a few minutes ago to say that it is premature to say that they have made an agreement, because he's saying what has happened right now is that they're just listening to the DA. And Unati, if we look at what's happening now, it's reminiscent of discussions we had when the GNU was coming together, and we were asking, will the ideologies of these parties be able to match? Because we are sitting at this particular juncture because of competing ideologies. Of course, we know that the DA is against, a VAT hike, and they're saying that it's not that the South African government doesn't have the money, they just need to be better stewards of the money. Less money needs to be leaving the public purse, to corruption and other clandestine activities that take away from government productivity. So I think that in the absence of an agreement between the two, we also have to keep in mind that they have 16 days to adopt this budget. Otherwise, it's going to have some implications. And these implications are really around the institutional structure of South Africa. Why is it important for the budget to be passed? Because we have a three-level sphere government. So when the budget is passed at national or at a parliamentary level, we then have in South Africa what we call revenue share and equitable share, and money that moves from national to the provinces to the municipality. And in the absence of a budget being passed, it means that those budgets, we talk about the fiscal economy in this country, that then also stands at a standstill, and that becomes detrimental for the country.
And I want us to continue then on, those technical probabilities that you speak of, if an agreement is not reached. We do understand, of course, that the draft framework, at least this report, is currently being, discussed, and it should be discussed. But essentially, we're talking here about timelines that need to be adhered to. Just given the sense that there is this standoff of sorts, to what extent then does the interest of the South African public matter here in these discussions? Earlier on, when we heard about these discussions, it was, rubbished by some analysts that this is, quite frankly, politicking at this stage.
Well, it definitely is politicking, because the DA is trying to wield its power. It's trying to wield its position within the GNU. We've heard the SG say that they are not only negotiating with the Democratic Alliance, but with the GNU partners as well. And we know that the IFP has also thrown its weight behind the budget, and that other GNU partners seem to be, for the most part, amenable to this new budget that has been proposed by Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana. So if we look at the politicking in this particular structure, we know that, and I don't want to draw cases that don't necessarily correlate, but we know that the DA has also, been very vocal about a DA government. They want to be the next government. They see themselves as the next government. And as such, this is part and parcel of showing their constituents, of showing the people who vote for them that we can have influence. We can influence policy. We can influence the policy direction, the economy policy direction of this country. And, it boils back to the South African that you referred to, Unathi. South Africans can barely live above the breadline. So if we take it back to the South Africans, we cannot afford a VAT hike. Yes, there are VAT-free foods, but the most part of the economy still does rely.
And I mean, speaking about, and Khanyi, I want to rope in now just, all the angles. Let's touch on some of the political parties that may also be entering into these discussions. We understand through the ANC Secretary-General earlier on, Fikile Mbalula, that there is some form of draft framework on the table. Perhaps for this conversation, frame to us how parties like Action SA, the Freedom Front Plus, and even the likes of EFF, how crucial they are to these discussions, just given what's at stake.
I think they're very important because if we look at the Action SA's performance in the city of Tshwane, for instance, the city of Tshwane can advocate for a bigger budget, right? And we know that they've worked for it. And so all of these parties do have prominence in local and provincial structures. And so they have a vested interest in the budget, and their voices are crucially important because of those positions that they hold currently.
Khanyi, thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate your time, of course, as we watch these discussions and see what else will be tabled going forward.